Chris in Stockholm, Sweden writes to me, "Hey Paul, I've only recently joined this game," our little sport, "and unsurprisingly it is filled, as is any niche subject, with know-it-alls who seem to still be living under a rock." Boy, ain't that the truth. Blanket statements such as, "don't use Wi-Fi," or "you can't play music on a computer," are constantly thrown out there with absolute disregard for the technical capabilities of both modern routers and solid-state computers. Welcome to my world, Chris. How can this be? Audiophiles on the hunt for high-resolution audio should be more than interested in modern tech, but no later than yesterday I was listening to a Rune webinar on networking where they made it clear to always avoid Wi-Fi, instead of explaining under which conditions Wi-Fi is more than acceptable, such as dedicated bands, gigabit LAN speeds, beamforming, and all that jazz. These are not dumb people. In fact, they demonstrated excellent aptitude for lateral thinking. I'm almost half the age as most people I encounter in this world, and I have the utmost respect for what other people know, but I cannot understand the seeming lack of respect for modern technology. Chris, I completely sympathize with you. It's, and I don't have a great, what am I going to say? That you're not right? You're totally right. I can add a few comments from some of my own experiences. So let's start with Wi-Fi. That's a good one. We almost always tell people, if you have a choice, stay away from Wi-Fi. Why do we do that? Well, any technical person will tell you that there is no difference with digital audio streaming over Wi-Fi as there is from Ethernet from a technical standpoint. Getting it in, whether it goes over the air, whether it goes over a fiber optic, whether it goes over copper, it doesn't matter as long as we meet the following criteria, which is what Chris starts getting into. You got to set the parameters. No, of course you can't use Wi-Fi if it's 3 blocks away, right? So got to use some common sense. But here's why. I would say, and we have a great deal of experience with this with our bridges that are in our DACs. Every time we have a problem, and I'm exaggerating here, the vast majority, and I said I would try not to do that, the vast majority of times that we have a problem in networking or in streaming music, at the end of the day, it winds up being Wi-Fi. Because most people are not that technical, and I'm talking about audiophiles, right? Most audiophiles, they understand what's going on, but they're not all that technical. And so when they hook it up, on the one hand, you're streaming, high-resolution video over Wi-Fi. I do that, and it works great. I also do that with music, and it works great. I don't have any trouble. That's because I paid attention to my Wi-Fi system to make sure that those problems didn't happen. Most people don't know, A, that there could be a problem, and B, if there was, what the heck to do about it, right? So as a manufacturer, or as somebody that has to answer a lot of phone calls and emails about why does the music stutter? First thing we ask, are you on Wi-Fi? Because if you are, that's likely the problem. It's just out of frustration. So, and imagine being on the other end of that phone call, okay? Just imagine you're the one who has the stuttering problem, and you're using Wi-Fi, and you look at the router, and it's a gigabit router. It easily can handle the bandwidth, and yet it's still stuttering. And I, as a manufacturer, am telling you, well, it's your Wi-Fi setup. No, it can't be. I stream television on it, I do this, I do that, on and on and on. And I try and have patience. Yeah, I know. But hook it up with Ethernet, and this problem will go away. And it does. So that's just a little bit of insight. It's not so much that we're lazy. We are. We want the easy way out for it. But this is all supposed to be fun, right? And to the extent that we can make it simple, easy, and fun, we've done our jobs. So it's a lot easier just to say, stay away from Wi-Fi, stick with Ethernet, because it's a lot safer. I mean, this studio and the Octave studio that you see me going over to, there is so much networking going on in here. It's insane. The new Pyramid system that we have over at the actual, this is where we started up in Gus's studio. Over at Octave, everything is connected either by Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and we're experiencing bandwidth problems over there on the network. We've had to rebuild the computer because the speed at which the hard drive can gobble up data is stopping the recordings from happening. Now, typically, computers are so overbuilt, it's ridiculous. And yet, when you try and do 32 channels of 11.2 megahertz audio, and you're feeding that down the throat of this poor hard drive trying to organize everything, and it's challenging. And all of that's over a network. And it's got to be done with no latency. I mean, so for me, this is a fun challenge. I love it. We have a faster hard drive, we've got gigabit networks, and all of it's really fun. But I also understand all that stuff. Most people don't have a clue what we're talking about. So, all right, enough rambling. I probably didn't answer fully your question, but that's essentially it. I think most audiophiles would like to just have it work. Wouldn't we all? Okay. Thanks for the question. Talk to you later. Bye.